Talk with Saniyyah. This is our first show. Our first guest is stylist Melanie Nicole. Melanie, tell us about yourself.
Hey, how's everyone doing today? I just want to first say thank you so much for allowing me to have this opportunity to sit down with you. This is like really big. I'm like really excited to be here today. Well, basically, my name is Melanie Jenkins. I currently am going by Melanie Nicole. That's what I'm branding myself off of. I am a stylist, and I come from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and I'm now living in California, and I'm just trying to get used to this new, this new journey that I'm partaking in right now. So, that's just a little bit about me.
Well, welcome to Cali.
Thank you.
You living in Cali weather?
That's the one thing I do love about Cali that makes me not want to go back to Florida is the weather, because it's currently raining there as it always does, and here it barely rains. Just like that song, "It Doesn't Rain in Southern California." It is a true statement.
Nice. Glad that you live in California. So let's jump into these topics.
Okay.
The first topic I want to jump into is the situation about Colin Kaepernick, the football player from San Francisco, because he is a athlete and he is known. He's using his platform for a great cause, but many people are upset about what he's doing with that. How do you feel about that?
I think what he did was actually very heroic. It really spoke to me when I heard the story, because, it's important as celebrities and a high profile to really take that step, because people are looking for them to do something, and, their voices are heard by so many. So it's like we, the smaller people, for better lack of words, we can only do so much. We need that person with that high profile fan base to really go out there and really make a difference. And I think this was just a first step into what a lot of celebrities should really get engaged in to start doing. I really commend him on what he did.
I think that's what you said is excellent, and it brought me back to thinking about Justin Timberlake when he stood up on Twitter and he kind of, piggybacked off of, I forgot the guy's name, but he piggybacked off him and made a great comment, and people pretty much bashed him because he wasn't African American and they felt like he shouldn't have had anything to say. But I thought what he said was great. Why do you think society at large penalizes famous people when they use their platform in a great way?
That's a really great question. And one thing that I could really say in regards to that is people just like negative. And I've noticed that, even when you go down your social media timelines, whether it be Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, what do you notice that gets the most likes or goes viral? It's very negative stories, negative videos. I mean, not saying that the positive ones don't go viral or get much exposure, but I see that people tend to want that negativity. And it's like, do we really want positive, things going on? Do we really want change? I don't think sometimes we do. I think we do, but we're trained not to, if that makes sense. And, just like Justin, I feel like, why can't his voice be heard? Why do we have to bash him if he's saying something good? Because the crazy thing is, you darn if you do, you darn if you don't. Because it's like, if he had said something negative, we bashing him. If he says something positive, we bashing him. It's a lose-lose situation. So I feel like a lot of times that's why celebrities don't want to state, don't want to speak up and speak out about what's going on, because it's like, you just never know how it's going to be perceived by people. And it's just like, I'd rather sit back, be silent, or work silently, because it doesn't mean just because they're not saying anything, they're not doing anything. Sometimes things aren't exposed. So I think, that we just have to really come together and really realize that change has to come. What are we willing to do for change, And we have to stop being so stubborn-minded and being more open-minded to understanding that it's all of us as a people. You know what I mean?
Collectively.
This country is just not based on one type of race. So it's like we all have to get together and make things happen for the better. So it's easy to say it, you know, but what are you doing?
I love that you said that because that's my biggest pet peeve. I hate when people complain and they say, oh, you know, they're not giving us this, they're shutting down opportunities. But then I always ask the question, well, what are you doing within your community, or what are you doing to make a difference? See, this is the thing. We always think that celebrities are the only people with voice. We all have a voice.
Exactly.
And just because we're not on TV or we're not in the limelight does not mean we cannot contribute to making the change. And we put the burden on the celebrities, and we expect them to do the things that I feel like we all should be doing.
Absolutely. I agree 100%. Change starts with us. It's not just them, it's us too.
Change starts at home. So it starts within your house, within your community, and within what you're doing.
Correct.
Because I feel like we all have platforms. It's just in the way we use it. Some bigger than the others. And I'm not going to say even some bigger than the others, because it's not based on big. Because if you're a teacher, you have a platform to 30 kids in that classroom. If you're a mother, you have a platform to all of your kids that you're raising. So we all have platforms. It's just, how do we use it?
Yep, you're right. And that's funny that you mentioned the thing about, you know, the mothers with the kids, because that was something that I was just going to say too. Like, it starts at home. Like, we have a young generation out there. What are we doing to help that generation? What are you doing in your homes to teach your children about what's going on out here? You know, so many kids, you just see them. It's so crazy to me. They're on Facebook or, you know, any social media, cursing, dancing, you know, inappropriate, and they're young, and then I see grown people laughing at that, and it's like, yeah, I'm gonna say I'm guilty, where maybe I've seen a child and thought it was funny, but then reality hit, like, no, this should not be funny, because, you know, what are we saying? Like, this is okay, this is how you should grow up thinking, you know? Like, it starts at home. The structure has to start at home. You have to teach your kids these things in order for them to excel in life.
I like that with the kids, but because we do see the kids like that, but let's fast forward, because the kids do it, but then what is when we see grown women and adults acting in ways that you would think a teenager would act, and we expect kids to assert themselves a certain way, but then you look at most adults and we'll do anything on social media for likes and comments. No self-respect. Class is out the window.
Oh, absolutely.
The moral compass has been thrown across the globe. So it's like, how do you expect kids to carry themselves and act a certain way when the adults don't even act that way?
I think with the adults, it starts with your parents, your friends. Everybody has at least that one person, if they don't want to call them a friend, that they feel somewhat close to. And I feel like it's our jobs to correct one another. Like, I do it even with my goddaughter. She's 21 now. And, you know, sometimes I don't always, you know, I have her on my social media accounts just, you know, just to watch her. I like to keep an eye out on her. But, you know, anytime I see something that's not right, she knows if I'm calling her, it's because she needs to correct it. Because I'm not going to bash her for every little thing she does, because I believe she has to learn. Right. But what I am going to do as her as being an older person in her life, role model in her life, I'm going to make sure that, you know, when I see those inappropriate things, that I'm going to step in and say, yo, I don't think what you did was appropriate. I don't think it was really ladylike. But the thing that, and I think she could say that, you know, she could respect and love me for it, is I don't criticize her. What I do is I basically put it in life situations for her. You know, like, she has a daughter now. So it's like certain things she does, I say, you know, that could affect your daughter. Right. Is that what you really want to portray? So for me, it's like, it's the way I deliver the message to her. And I'm not going to say she sits here and she takes in everything I say and she just, you know, she goes with it. Sometimes it's a fight, but she always comes back and says, you know, I apologize. I do understand what you were saying, because she knows it's out of love and I just want the best for her. So I think, you know, we have to correct one another. It's just like you. If you see me doing something that's inappropriate because I think of you as a friend, I expect for you to come to me and say, look, Mel, you know, I think what you did wasn't really, you know, up to your character. Right. And I think you can, you know, you can do better. And if you're somebody that I respect as a friend, I may be upset or feel some type of way, but deep down, I respect your opinion. I'm going to think about it, and I'm going to want to change eventually, you know? It's how set in your ways are you is really what it comes down to. Right. So, but it's hard, because when you see, you know, it's hard to bring correction when people see, you know, I guess you want to say strippers, nothing against the strippers at all, you know, that's their profession, they do what they do. But when you see, like, people feel like they're praised and the working woman is not. So it's like,
I'm glad you said that. It's like
it bothers them.
It bothers who?
Like people, the hardworking women, because they feel like I'm out here, I got my degree, I'm working hard, and I can't seem to get anywhere. But here we have a stripper, and she's just living life.
As if you, because I don't want to offend anybody, but I have to be truthful. It's almost as if you don't have any self-respect, you do anything to get ahead, you're praised. I mean, and which you shouldn't live life doing things to get praised, because you should live life for your own fulfillment.
Correct.
But it's almost like morals and values have just been thrown out the window. And I'm not saying that everybody strips as a whole, as a prostitute.
Right, absolutely not. Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Some people do it because they need to.
Whatever their reasons are. But it's almost like when you talk about a teacher, when you talk about a lawyer, when you talk about a principal or whatever, it's not something that is looked up to. And it's kind of like pushed down. Well, if you're not twerking, you're not showing cleavage, you're not running around naked, then who are you? It's almost like you get no respect.
Correct.
It's like when I was growing up, you know, even if you was a stripper, you wouldn't dare tell anyone.
Exactly.
It was more of an embarrassment.
You were kind of judged for it.
Just as, you know, everybody, coke is the thing. When I was growing up, that was like a crackhead. You did not tell people that you did those type of drugs.
Right.
You know, most kids did weed, if that. And now it's meth, it's heroin. Like heroin, that's crazy to me. It's like, where is this world? What direction is it going in? Because there's like no rules, no boundaries, no morals. We just do whatever, run amok, and it's okay. But see, what people don't understand is boundaries and rules are put in place for a reason.
Correct.
Without those, the world
chaotic.
Exactly. And that's what I'm seeing. It's just like nothing surprises me anymore. And I remember when I was growing up, and my parents would say, when I was a kid, they would kind of get on your nerves because you're thinking, okay, you're old. But now I'm looking at it as an adult and looking at kids.
You're understanding it now.
I understand what they're saying, because even from the time I was a kid, things have completely changed.
Absolutely. No. And to quickly just go back for a sec with the whole stripper thing, this is my thing. To each his own, you know, because in life we have choices to do what we want to do. So my thing is nothing against the strippers, right? You know, in the entertainment industry. It has nothing to do with that. It's about basically your hardworking 9-to-5 woman. Show her the same respect. You know what I mean? Give her the same type of praise. Just put us on an equal playing field. If you're gonna put them before you put us, like make it even. You know, I can at least respect that, but it's just almost as if we're overlooked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, why overlook us? You know, why overlook us? We work just as hard as they do.
You're saying it for terms of who overlooking?
Of like
society.
Okay. Because it's like you said, we pray. It appears to be that we're praising strippers now. You know, they're coming up now. They're becoming high profile images in the social life. You know, when you go on social media, that's who you see winning.
But this is what bothers me, is that this is what young girls aspire to be. And this is my thing. Okay, if that's what you want to do, great. I don't knock anyone or judge anyone for what they do. I feel like we all have our own path and we all have our own stories. But using your looks to get ahead in life, I always say the look will get you the position, but it's the brains that allows you to capitalize. Because if you just have the look without this, it's just the look. Beauty fades. You get what I'm saying? People say it's not true. The older you get, men are always attracted to the younger women. So the older you get, it's like you're obsolete. Right. So at what point do we start teaching young girls that brains is beauty?
Yeah.
Because that is what you're going to capitalize off. That's what's going to get you ahead in life. Your look can get you only so far, but if you don't have the intelligence to capitalize off of it, then what's next?
Yeah. But you know, the funny thing, and I'm pretty sure you will see a rebuttal on that statement, and reason being, because then you would have a stripper say, well, who's to say I'm not smart? I'm doing this to get through college. So then what do you speak to that? You understand what I'm saying? Because
there is situations
we can't
like
put them in that box
there
all
is
the way.
Situations like that.
They are
what I'm saying is I have saw young girls me personally,
Right.
say, well, I don't need to go to school. I could just do a stripper, because they watch these reality shows. They watch things in the media and on social media, and they think this is real life.
Right.
They don't hear the story behind the girl saying that's what she's doing to get through college.
Correct.
They don't hear the mother saying that's what they're doing just to basically pay their bills and feed their kids. They only see the half naked, dressed, glammed up, doing all these things, because we're not sharing that side of why they're doing it. They just see the attention and the money. If I do this, if I go strip and work on the pole and dance on the pole, and I'm not saying because I took a pole dancing class, it's not easy. So it is.
It's hard work. I've done it. Yeah, it's hard work.
At the same time, it's giving a false sense of what reality is. And most people will say, because I'm gonna play devil's advocate, well, isn't the parents' job to raise their kids? And I absolutely think it starts at home.
Absolutely.
But I also feel like, as a woman in society, it is my obligation to be a model for a lot of young girls that don't have that mother, or have that mother, but they're not a mother. Absolutely. So I do feel like I still believe in it takes a village to raise a child. Absolutely. I believe that wholeheartedly. When my kids bring their friends over, I embrace them and take them in as my own. So I know people will say, well, it's none of your business, they're not your kids. But at the same time, isn't it more of not just looking out for ourselves and looking out for other people, even if it's not our kids, that we want to be some type of example or role model to push them in the right direction?
It's definitely our generation is what we're looking out for. It's, that upcoming generation, that your children.
These are the people that's going to be running our world.
Exactly, and we want them to know
running our country,
right from wrong,
running our city.
Exactly, so we don't have crazy candidates trying to run for president. I'm just saying.
Okay.
But another thing that came to mind, going back to what you were saying about how they look at, like some of the celebrities who once were strippers, and now they're just living this high life. One point that I think is important to make to a child that looks up to somebody like that is, if this was something that they really looked at as like a career, something they just love to do, why are they no longer doing it? Because a lot of these strippers are no longer stripping. You know what I mean? It stopped. That lawyer, that doctor, they're going to continue to be a lawyer and a doctor. I'm pretty sure. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, if your child is looking at that and they are looking up to that, it's pointing those things out, because kids like to see the real. Because we can tell them no all day. They want you to apply it to their life. I'm not saying all kids, but a lot of them, because I was that child. Like, you're telling me no, but I was always that why child. Why? Right. Why are you telling me no? Right. You're telling me to go to this church. You're telling me to believe in this. Why? I always question why. Sometimes it's a good thing, sometimes it's a bad thing. But it was important for me to know why something was happening. And I think in my adulthood, that helped me a lot through a lot of different situations, because I just wasn't going with the crowd, But you
had that foundation. Right. It's a lot of kids out here that don't have that foundation. I could say, as bad as I was and as hood as I was, when I went home, my parents were not like that. Right. My parents were not hood parents. My dad was a pastor. My mom is intelligent, a college graduate. So in my house was completely different from outside in the streets. But you have some kids, the streets is just as the same as in their house.
You're right.
So it's completely different. We had that support system. There's a lot of kids that don't have that. So what do we tell them? You get what I'm saying? When they're idolizing things like this, and they want to look a certain way, because I feel like society is monkey see, monkey do.
Yep.
Society is people full of followers.
Yep.
They Google their outfits, Google their makeup, Google how they want their hair. It's based on what somebody else wants. And I don't understand it, because the unique thing about being you is nobody else can be you. Yep. Why do you want to be somebody else? So now I'm going to jump into this next clip. Mm-hmm. Run the clip real quick.
Is natural, but interestingly enough, studies show that if you have between 104 degree or 108 degree nasal tip rotation, those are the ones that are considered the most beautiful, and hers is 106.
Somebody in here to measure our nasal tip rotation,
and then we know if we have the most beautiful noses.
But symmetry is what they say is a lot in the eye of beauty, right?
Okay, the second most requested eyelid.
So when I saw that clip last night, that was crazy to me. because, I mean, I understand as a plastic surgeon, he's doing his job, and that's probably the looks that most people come in and ask for, granted. But even just putting something out there like that, the most desired face, like, what does that say to people? That, and I know a lot of people are going to say, well, people should be leaders. Now, let's just be honest. You very seldom find people that really lead, because like I said before, we are in a society full of followers, and people will say, well, that's not my fault. But at the same time, the same people that are saying, well, that's not my fault, they should be leaders, are the same people, I can guarantee you, that follow most of the time. So what does that say to someone that is not strong in their identity and struggles with how they look and struggles with, being confident with who they are and loving themselves, that's the desired face?
I had to laugh at the clip because I just think it's hilarious how they always try to put you in this box of what you should look like. Like, just for example, just the whole thing with having the fake butt. That's like really in right now. Your booty gotta look a certain way. And women are out here, they're doing all types of crazy stuff to have a big butt. You know what I mean? And when I say crazy stuff, like the plastic surgery, taking pills, getting injections, all that stuff. What happened to the natural way? Let's try working out. Everybody doesn't have the same type of body, and God made you that way. We are all different, but we are perfect in His image. It all comes with having self-love. And, that's something I even struggle with growing up, because you see like a certain video model or, just a model in general, or maybe where you're, what area you grew up in, they like a certain type of girl, and you found yourself trying to become that girl. And the only reason why you would do that is if you really don't love yourself. Because if you love yourself, you're going to work on your imperfections the best that you can, and you're going to be happy with the way you are.
Right.
Yes, sometimes, we do need to get in that gym. We need to work out. We
definitely need to get in the gym.
Right. We need to eat right. We need to stay away from the fast food. Those are things that are going to help us with our health. So those are things that are important. Not, but we don't do it just because, I have to achieve this look because, this is the look that's in, and, I want to be desired by men. Because at the end of the day, that's 9 times out of 10 what you're doing it for if you're a woman. And if you're a man, vice versa. You know what I mean? So I guess the first question is, why are you doing this? Why do you want to achieve this look? And, if it's for that love and attention and that following, you're doing it for all the wrong reasons. And once you even look that way, you're not going to be happy. You're going to want to do
something
more
else
to get this desired look that you're searching for. I've been there and done it. I'll be honest. I've seen, certain women and be like, dang, I wish I had a body like that, and then try to start doing things, with my hair or whatever to get that desired look. But, I'm currently working on self-love, loving myself, loving all of me, imperfections and all, because, at the end of the day, I am me. I have to love me. If I don't love me, nobody else will.
That's right. I completely agree with you. You had me so wrapped into what you were saying that I forgot what I was going to say. But no, I completely agree with you. Did you watch the VMAs?
Yes, I did.
And you seen Teyana's video?
Yes,
and
I did.
It made me think, like, her body looked all natural. And what's wrong with the natural body?
There's nothing. And the funny thing, I think it was TMZ interviewing her. They caught her coming out of a restaurant or something like that. And she made it clear. She said, I eat junk food. She's like, I eat whatever I want, Twinkies, whatever I want. And I thought that was just so amazing because it was just like, you see, like, don't starve yourself. This is to all my women out there that feel like, they got to eat an apple for dinner, or, they have to go into that mode of thinking to lose weight. Like, she eats Twinkies. And she said she doesn't
good.
And she said she just had a baby. Let me add that. And she says she doesn't even work out in a gym. She says dance is her exercise. And she's right, because I've known her to always be a really good dancer. So I know she's been dancing for a long time now, but that is how she keeps her body fit. And it's just like, we need to revert back to that. And it's so funny because I seen a meme where they had like a girl with big boobs and a big butt, slim waist, and they were like, just a week ago y'all was trying to look like this. Now y'all trying to look like Teyana. And all you need is that one moment for that person to take it back to the right direction.
But why does it take that one moment for a person to take it back to the right direction when you should already have your own direction? That's what I'm saying. Like, so, because, you know, years ago, butts were considered fat. Big lips, you know, that was like an ugly African-American trait.
I used to get teased on.
So in 10 years, what are you going to do when the trend is something else? And that's what I'm saying. Be true to yourself. When you ask, if I've asked people, like, what is the definition of beauty? And they will describe a person. The definition of beauty is me. I look at beauty every day in the mirror. You get what I'm saying? Why is your definition of beauty another person?
I guarantee you, if it was 10 people right here, right now, you ask that question, I guarantee you, I'm going to be nice by saying 8. 8 people would tell you somebody else, and 2 would probably say themselves. And I'm being nice by saying 2. I really think it's 1, if not none. Because that's the point we've gotten to. There is no self-love. We don't love ourselves. We don't. We love what we see on TV. And that's what we desire to look like. And it's like, it's funny because like fashion, they always say fashion repeats itself. It's so true, it really does. Chokers, they're back in.
When I was like in junior high.
You know what I'm saying? They're back in, you know? And that's the same thing with the self-image. It changes. You're supposed to be wearing one week we wearing purple, green hair. The next week we going back to black hair. You know, 1 minute we wearing contour, full face of makeup. Next minute, now it's the thing to look natural. You know, it's just what people set a trend on. Because I guarantee.
Why not create your own trend or be the trendsetter, be the trailblazer, be the game changer to set what standard?
Because first of all, you said it in the beginning. We don't have enough leaders. We have a bunch of followers. And when you're a follower, you follow the trends. When you're a leader, you set them. You know, that's why people like Kim Kardashian, I guarantee you, if Kim Kardashian said no more makeup tomorrow, I guarantee you everybody gonna stop no makeup tomorrow, because people look up to her as an icon. They want to look like her. They want their hair to be like her, their makeup to be like her. But what they don't realize is she knows she can set a trend, and it's gonna go. You know, she has, and
there's nothing wrong with her doing that. You get what I'm saying? Because ultimately, she's being her. Mm-hmm. Now, whether you follow is really ultimately on you. And that's the thing that I'm saying. Like, people with these platforms, going back to the other video, I'm jumping around, but going back to him standing up for something positive. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? At what point do we say, we are our own individuals in our own right, in our own lives? Let's take our own life back and follow our own blueprint. Create our own blueprint.
It won't happen.
It definitely won't happen, but I thought I just threw it out there.
Yeah, no, I understand. It's wishful thinking. Definitely, it won't happen. It can. You know, I don't even want to be negative. It won't. It can happen, but will it happen is the question.
I think it will happen in certain... You know what? Thinking back, I never knew a time where it was cool for everybody to be an individual.
Exactly.
That should be a new trend. The challenge for everybody to be themselves.
But see, you know, I think where people will get that statement misunderstood is when you say be yourself, doesn't mean, okay, be yourself is chokers are in. I currently have on a choker, but I'm going to rock my choker the way I want to rock it, not the way Kim Kardashian.
No, that's not what I'm saying, because you're right. A lot of people are going to say, well, I dress like that because I want to. And this, right. What I'm saying is, when I've seen women, I've seen girls literally go online and Google what certain people are wearing.
Absolutely.
Copy that outfit.
That's a problem.
Copy that hairstyle. Copy that makeup. And there's nothing wrong, because we all see things ultimately that we like and we want to do. Yeah. But when it's like when you base your life, which I call a blueprint, on somebody else's and trying to do everything like that person, you're not you. You have just become trying to be that person.
Absolutely. No, you're right. And, you know, some people, you know, they don't feel like they have it in them to be that person. And that was part of the reason why I wanted to even be a stylist, because I wanted to bring out that individual and add a little more to it, because a lot of people don't realize it's in you to be that person, but they don't know how to do it. You know what I mean? So it's like, to me, people always compliment me on how I dress and things of that nature. And it's because that I may be completely in trend, but it's my individual style.
Right.
I'm not gonna rock it the way anybody else rocks. So if I see a whole outfit that Kim Kardashian had on, and I look at that, I was like, I love that outfit. I can get that outfit, but I guarantee you I'm going to look completely different from her.
It's okay to see something cute.
Right, because I'm going to add
that's
my little
normal.
thing to it.
Oh, I've seen this cute car, nice car, I want that car. Normal.
Right.
Nice. I mean, it's nothing wrong with that. But I'm saying people that literally pattern their lives and watch and keep up with people to see what they're doing in their life to ensure that their life is like that person's. Like, that's crazy to me.
Very crazy.
That's crazy. I mean, of course you see stuff that people have on and you like, oh, that's cute. Right. And you see them and you get you a pair of shoes or something like that.
Right.
But it's not ultimately saying I want to be like that person.
No, because you have people that they go to an extreme level. The hair is the same. The nails and toes are the same. The makeup is the same. The outfit is the same. The shoes are. Where's individuality? What one that is you? Not even the hair. You could at least did your hair different. I'm still trying to figure it out. Because it's hard for me to say what it is because I've never been that individual. I've never wanted to look exactly like somebody else. I'm a trendsetter. I'm going to do my own thing.
Right.
I love what you're doing, but I'm going to do it and add a little different to it and make it my own. That's how I've always been. So I guess we both searching for that answer. We'll get it one day. I guess we got to ask those type of people. But I
think there will always be followers. I mean, in order to be an employer, there always have to be employees.
I was going to say, but you need the followers.
You do need the followers. But when there's more followers than leaders, something is definitely wrong. I can tell you this, I'm not raising my kids to be no followers.
Right.
But going back to the video with the whole beauty thing, because even one thing that I noticed, and it's probably, I don't know, people not of color that are getting these plastic surgeries, but then even that with the most desired face is a white person. And there's a lot of beautiful white people, just like there's a lot of beautiful Hispanics, Asians, Blacks, so forth. But as far as African American women, you know, where does the beauty come in with that? Because it's almost as if, you know, but that's always been a thing where African Americans have not been something that a woman is not beautiful. And it used to be the light skin. And I hear kids, because I work at a high school, just among kids, where it's not even light skinned anymore. It's a white girl. Mixed is not good enough. First, black wasn't good enough. Then, you know, it was light skinned. Now, light skinned it wasn't good enough. Right. Then it was mixed. Mixed is not good enough. And it's like, where do you think that stems from? And at what point does that stop? What point does the self-hatred in the African American community stop?
So, first person that came to my mind as you were speaking was Little Kim. Everybody, I'm pretty sure, has seen the transition of Little Kim. I personally thought Little Kim was a beautiful black woman. She was. And now what she is, I don't know. I don't know what that is. But I do recall this one picture that she posted on Instagram, and it was so bad. One of my friends was like, it's so bad that her own fans are talking about her. And you know that's bad when your fans are not even supporting.
Do you feel like they're pressured to look a certain way in Hollywood?
No, I'm going to tell you exactly, because she spoke on it.
Oh, okay.
After, because, you know, I don't know if you guys are all familiar with it, but this one particular picture, she pretty much looked like as if she was a Caucasian woman. And basically, she said that, you know, it stems from hurt of men is what I got from the whole
men putting her down.
Making
beautiful.
Right, but when you're in that industry where you know you beautiful, but yet why is everybody trying to talk to that Caucasian girl or that Spanish girl? You know, you start to look at yourself like, maybe I'm not as beautiful as I thought. And that's and you have a lot of women that they do start off strong, and I could only imagine, because to be honest, sometimes I'm like, I don't think I would ever want to be that famous. And if I was, it would need to be behind the scenes, because I'm pretty sure she didn't always feel that way about herself. You know what I mean? But it's over time of being in that industry and seeing what people consider beautiful, she's made this image that basically white is beautiful to her. She wants to change her nose. She even to the point she's like she put on complete makeup to make her look as if she was a white woman. If that doesn't say something, I don't know what does. That makes a huge statement to me. We gotta love ourselves.
It always goes back to loving yourself.
Because it's somebody who don't love you.
It does. It always goes back to loving yourselves. And what is so heartbreaking to me is when I find, like, people will tell you a person finds themselves in their 30s. And I kid you not, it's a lie, because I know grown women that are in their 50s and still do not know who they are.
Very true.
So age has nothing to do with embracing you. Mm-hmm. And I would say to anybody, especially if you have girls, cousins, sisters, you need to always speak into them. And I think that's the biggest thing that we don't do, women. The gender of women. It's more of, you walk in a room, you see a lot of beautiful women, a lot of beautiful women, and instead of giving that woman a compliment, it's more of a competition. Mm-hmm. I don't have a problem with giving another woman a compliment. I will stop somebody in the store and tell them, you're beautiful, I like your outfit, you look cute, because I'm confident within me. But I see it so much. And I told my husband one day, we were in the grocery store, and I said, I don't know what it is with women, but it's always like a competition. He thought I was playing. I had to show him. This girl was with her boyfriend, or whoever he was to her. She didn't know I was with my husband. And as soon as I walked up, she instantly started acting a certain way. And I showed him. I said, this is what I'm talking about when you thought I was playing. Women always feel like when they're in a room with another woman that they have to be inferior or watch them, or it's a competition. And it's almost like if women are being trained to be competitors for men, for jobs, for attention, and it's, at what point do we put a stop to that?
By coming together. Like, it's funny because I too had a similar situation where I was somewhere, I can't recall exactly where I was, but I seen a girl in the women's bathroom, and I gave her a compliment. And you would think the words out of her mouth would be thank you, but she kind of like gave me a side eye. But anybody knows me knows I'm super friendly, and I said, you see what you just did there? That's the problem with us now. I said, it's so sad that you couldn't even really take my compliment for a compliment.
She probably thought
and she started laughing, and she was like, you know what? You're not even lying. And it became like a huge discussion in the women's bathroom. Now, if you know me, you know that's not, you know I'm telling the truth. It's not even a shock to you that took place. But she couldn't even take my compliment. And it's just like, that's what we've come to, where we can't even compliment each other. People compliment me all the time. And I am so thankful for those compliments, because I know you didn't have to open up your mouth and say anything, but in exchange,
let me tell you something. When you get a compliment for another woman, know that a guy will compliment you all day. I don't care how ugly, how
women
look,
with women,
because they're thirsty and they just want to get your number. But if a woman compliments you, it's some value to that, because women don't compliment other women.
We don't.
It's rare.
We don't. It's just, with us coming together, we got to learn to stop fighting against each other and come together. No, it's okay to say, I like your shoes, I like your hair. It's like 2 seconds out of your mouth. Like, why does everything have to be a competition? But when it comes to men, I understand why it has to be a competition.
I don't.
Let me tell you.
It's too many men.
Listen, you think you would say it's too many men, but there's not quality men, and that's the problem. You know what I mean? That's what it comes down to, because you could say that because you're a married woman, but as a single woman, it's the quality of men. Because they out there, but it's the quality that you're fighting.
But see, I hear people always say that, and I understand what you're saying, but every time I hear people say the quality of men, my question is always, well, what type of men are you around? Because I hear men say the same thing. It ain't good women out there. It ain't, well, what type of women are you around? What type of women are you dating? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I've been around them all.
So you think there's no quality men?
Oh, there's definitely quality men. It's just, it's like pulling teeth to find them. You going through like 50 to find one.
But let's play devil's advocate though. Because guys can say the same exact thing about women. A woman with class. Because this is the thing, what I think a lot of women don't understand. A man will have sex with you, but marrying you is two total different things.
Absolutely.
You get what I'm saying? Absolutely. And I hear men say all the time, there's no good ones anymore. So it's like this, men and women say the same exact thing. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So how does that play out?
How that plays out is we're going to have to do this another day with
a married couple
and a single, like 2 single people. and then we can really hash it out and find out. Because I can honestly say, when I give relationship advice and speak on relationships from a single standpoint, I'm getting that information from sources such as other single men, men that are dating, men that are married, women that are married, women that are single, women that are dating. And it's like I want to hear what they have to say, because to me, I use my platform for good. So I'm going to let all my single women know, look, we got to stop doing this if this is what we want to do.
Right. Now, I do think you have to, in order to have an expectation of a certain type of man, you need to hold yourself to that same expectation.
Yes.
But I think because the game has changed. See,
it has.
Because dating back then, guys really had to apply themselves. Now, dating now seems like a guy just has to get in your DM and like your stuff, and next thing you know, you get what I'm saying,
right.
Depending on the type of woman.
Right.
So they don't really have to work hard at it anymore,
right?
Because people are just so willing to give it up so easy.
Right.
And you get what I'm saying?
No, yeah, part of the reason why they're giving it up so easy, because the game has changed. You know what I mean? So now you feel like I can't chase too much, because I can't play the cat and mouse game too much, because if I do that, I might lose him in the chase.
But what about okay, I get what you're saying.
Instead of you being the prize, you think he's the prize.
Right.
And that's what
I'm saying. At what point
the roles have a reverse?
At what point do you lose the sense of, I'm the prize, I'm the catch? You get what I'm saying?
Knowing your value and self-love.
There you go. It always goes back to that. It always goes back to that. Because I've had conversations with women, and I would tell them all the time, once you have sex with a guy, the interest is gone. When a guy meets you, he's not going to say, oh, she look good, that's my wife. They might say that, but we know that's not really what they're thinking. The whole thought of them meeting you is sex. So once they get that, then what else is there to see behind? They haven't even got, because let's be real, a lot of girls will have sex within the first few months, 1 week of knowing the dude. I ain't gonna say a lot, but it happens. 2-3 months you have sex with this guy. How much do you even really know about him?
Right, and going back on that, and that's funny that you said that men just say it's for the sex, because I've actually spoken with men and they say different. And see, this is where the confusion.
What is it for?
Because to men, I've met men and they've said that the sex really has nothing to do with it.
So what
because
is it for?
To them, they feel like, and I'm not speaking on all men, just, I've spoken to a few, and what I've come to a conclusion of is they feel like it's just about what they're getting from you. How much substance do you have? So
that's a man that wants a woman. Now that's a man. What you saying is
because he's like, I can have sex with you on the first date and still want to be with you. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I've never met. I heard anybody say, so that's new to me.
Yes.
Okay, but I mean, there is different people out there that like different stuff.
Would consider being with you, but in order for me to want to be with you, as I'm getting to know you, it's about your standards and your. One thing I do hear men, and that hasn't changed, is confidence.
What do you mean?
Whenever I say, what is one thing you really look for in a woman, especially basically a woman you really want to commit to and be with, a lot of them all.
It's good talking to you. You stopping by, blessing my first talk show, the first segment. I didn't even feel like we were actually on the show because the conversation just got so juicy and heated. And those are the type of people that I want to come, that where we could just talk and it could go wherever, but it's real topics and real life issues that people really deal with. I see a lot of stuff that's on TV, but it's not hitting deep rooted conversations of what people are feeling and thinking. So thank you thank you for coming on. And please let the people know where they can find you.
You can find me on Facebook, Melanie Jenkins, and it'll also say I am Melanie Nicole, but I think it just says Melanie Jenkins. You can find me on Facebook. You can also find me on Instagram. I am Melanie Nicole, and my Snap, I think it's I'm Melanie Nicole as well, but just look at the Instagram and they'll tell you everything else you need to find. But I just want to say thank you for having me, because we need people to hear this. I know people may feel like some things are biased, but it's real. It's real talk. It's my real opinion, your real opinion, and everybody's entitled to their opinions. This is a free country. We live in the United States. So I'm just so blessed and humbled to be here, for the opportunity. because this is like always a dream of mine to like really interact with people, share my voice, how I feel about things. So I just want to say thank you.
You are so welcome. And I want to say thank you to you for you coming on to the show.
No problem.
And if you guys you like what you see, you like what you're hearing, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Saniyyah Mayo. Will be bringing more talk with Saniyyah. It will be weekly or however it goes, but you will be blessed and you will enjoy the topics. Tune in next time. Go to my YouTube channel and subscribe. Like I always say, continue to break cycles.
Have a blessed day.